This is Things You Might Have Heard, and I am Jay Clifton Payne, and I am ready to present to you yesterday's latest in information, politics, current events, and pop culture. This is your go-to supplemental source, go-to for both mainstream and unconventional news stories you may have missed, with a little added context in the mix. In the queue, 8 stories from yesterday that you vetted as conversational. I put together into this little mix here to give you the 8 cast in here today, and you can get that. I will explain the vetting process, how they actually got here in a bit. Plus, at the end of the show, fun things for today that you don't want to miss. So stick around for the full end. More information on how we get these things done every single day and what you can find out about us at our website. This is theconversationproject.com. Email us anytime you want at theconversationinbox@gmail.com. Getting to the stories today, starting off for Thursday, December 14th, 2023. And remember, it is 11 days until Christmas. Let's get into headline number 1 this morning. And headline number 1 is a big one. Jonathan Majors surveillance video shows fight with girlfriend. She chases him. TMZ gave us the video and gave us our actual information for this, but the new surveillance video footage has emerged in the trial of actor Jonathan Majors, and it's showing the dynamic between him and his ex-girlfriend, Grace Jabari, and what allegedly happened day of the assault. The video captured Jabari chasing Majors after the incident, and the footage is a part of a collection of evidence released by a judge, including photos from the day to kind of show what's happening out there. Specific contents of the surveillance video provide a different perspective of the events leading up to alleged assault. The trial has brought to light various aspects of the relationship and circumstances around the alleged incidents for both sides. The case continues to unfold, with the defense resting yesterday, evidence being scrutinized in court. So essentially, if you saw the video, you saw the memes, you saw all the X responses of essentially Jonathan Majors running from his girlfriend, literally running from his life in the streets from what was happening. It shows a different light of what happened in the day. We shall see how this plays itself out. And of course, all the running to making good jokes, I think they've all been told, but feel free to add your own to the mix. It's the internet after all. Israel has started flooding Hamas tunnel network with seawater, I should say. The Israel military has started pumping water from the Mediterranean Sea into the vast tunnel complex underneath Gaza to stop Hamas's underground network. Israeli forces have done the work, but some 130 hostages are still remain in captivity, and they're believed to be in the tunnel, so they're not just flooding them completely. They're doing testing, as they say, to see how effective it'll be to flesh out literally the Hamas weapons and people who are down in the tunnels. So the families of the captives don't want this to be a big old operation. However, the Israeli military is essentially in this to win this. They want to completely destroy Hamas, completely wipe it off the face of the earth, as they have said in various terms, actually in all terms. Essentially, they want Hamas gone. The biggest issue with this is the fact that, wiping out a complete generation of people sounds a lot like genocide, and it sounds a lot like it. Although when they're aggressors, you really can't do that. Complicated issue. You can comment me in the comments back and forth, and we'll talk about this a bit. It'll come back to maybe haunt us, if you will, coming forward. The guy that tells everybody do your job and just go to work may have to find a new job to go to work too soon. Patriots and Belichick are parting ways after this season. This is coming. Our link comes from Total Pro Sports, who put it as a breaking news headline yesterday on their blog for sports. And it seems like a thing that's going to happen. They've been talking about it for a while. If we, the fans and people insiders, are talking about what happens to Bill Belichick since he's been there for the Patriots for so long, and now is having essentially on the losing track of the team. Essentially, it's time to turn the team around, do something different, and right now might be the time. Brady may have been a bit of magic for a while, but right now, what Belichick is giving to the team is not going very well. So what's happening going forward is essentially they're looking at the new way to go. Now, Bill Belichick can do anything he wants to at this point because he's got that juice to do it. But we'll see where he comes up next, and whether this is actually just rumor innuendo, whether he has another couple of years under his sleeves in Patriot land. We shall see this happen. We shall see what happens with this, I should say. Tesla recalls over 2 million vehicles for faulty autopilot controls. That's essentially every Tesla on the road out there in the U.S. Due to concerns over the autopilot driver assist system, which has had its complaints, had its issues for quite some time. But what the real issue, the serious defect is something that's in the basic Autopilot package, including the SAE Level 2 Advanced Driver Assist features, also auto steer. That may be a bit too much for folks who don't get the techie of it, but essentially there's a free over-the-air software fix to resolve the issue, but basically you have to bring it in for a bit to make sure it's taken care of. It won't cost you anything, you just have to let it sit for a while to basically do the auto update because it's software. But essentially every vehicle that was sold in the United States must come in for this upgrade because it's that serious. Here's a very interesting one as football season is wrapping up, as college football season definitely wrapping up. After SSU snub, Florida's AG launches antitrust probe against the College Football Playoff Selection Committee. Is the College Football Playoff Selection Committee an antitrust violation? Because just a group of folks can control what happens in the playoffs. Now, this is something that's kind of, unique to Florida because Florida State got bounced out of the rankings because when they should have probably gotten there. And it's something that's unique to this year because next year it's a 12-team playoff. So it doesn't really matter what happens this year going forward. It should be, air quotes, more fair. At least more teams will be in the mix to play it out. I'm not sure how it's going to work out. The actual apocalypse of college football is essentially this 12-team playoff because how do the bowl systems work after this? Who knows? Who will care if this thing sticks? If it doesn't stick, there's another thing behind the way. But we'll see how this lawsuit plays itself out. Chances are it'll go very little far, not very far, I should say, in the case going here. Our next headline. Big Bang Theory actress Kate Micucci, I know I butchered that, 43, developed lung cancer despite never smoking. Now, this is a story that reminds you that, one, cancer is a bitch, and two, you always need to check up on things if something doesn't seem right. Kate Micucci, like I said, don't know how her name is actually pronounced, so apologies for that, never smoked a cigarette, and it was really weird to get the diagnosis of lung cancer. Lung cancer rates in women are rising right now, and this is mostly due to air pollution, hormones, and genetic mutations that have come to us in these days. Surgery, radiation, chemotherapy, and molecular-based treatments are available, so it can be treated fairly easily. But what's going on is the fact that it is rising, and no one can really tell you exactly what's going on. Radiation, radon gas, the environment, things like that are causing issues in regular people. Women, particularly here, are getting more lung cancer cases, especially if they are actually nearby things like smoke, the actual triggers that would give you cancer. If you're not, you're still able to actually line up for the actual diagnosis. Even you don't secondhand smoke, air pollution and asbestos can increase your lung cancer risk. So check out, get screened ads going on. It's definitely between the age of 50 and 80 where people specifically deal with these issues. Zion Williamson issues in response to Shaq and Charles Barkley. Shaq and Charles Barkley say Zion Williamson, the should-be superstar basketball player for the New Orleans Pelicans, should be playing much better, but he's slow and fat. Paraphrasing, if you will. Here's the response, the quote he had. If it comes from a great place and a place where they want to see me do better, thank you. But if it comes from anywhere else, everyone entitled to their opinion, can't control that. That's what he said on that one. Now, the rumors go back and forth from trainers, from people that work with staff, those sources, if you will, that Zion just isn't caring about his health. He just isn't doing anything. Now, he is saying he's going through a lot. There's things going on. He's concerned with his health, so he's working to focus on that and get better. The big thing is the man, unlike a lot of stars come out of college that lose that baby weight and turn into big old massive bulking guys, Shaq being one of them, he isn't. He's not losing the weight. He's not getting anything. He's not actually slimming down and getting stronger. He's just seemingly, I won't say floundering, but staying in the pose. And where he's staying coming out of his college career is not where he needs to be playing to be an elite in the NBA. That's basically where it is. That's the bottom line is. And if the issue is he can't keep his weight down, he needs to figure out how to figure out what's going on. And finally, the headline reads, Mickey Mouse will enter public domain in January 1, 2024. The caveat is Mickey Mouse is not entering the public domain. Steamboat Willie Mickey Mouse is entering the public domain. Released in 1928, the cartoon about the happy-go-lucky animal-busting deckhand on a river steamboat, captivated by a violent, oafish captain, will enter public domain in a few weeks. That one will go into public domain. So look for Steamboat Willie blood and guts happening soon, but not exactly current Mickey Mouse, or that we know with the big old ears and the big brown goofy grin. This is original Mickey Mouse going forward. Other Mickey Mouse cartoons that were released in that year, or in very similar years, will go as well. But the biggest one that people are looking for is Steamboat Willie, the first edition of Mickey Mouse as Mickey. Mortimer Mouse is a whole nother story. Mickey Mouse goes into the public domain next year, 2024, with Steamboat Willie version going in first. What people do with that, we will see. Do people want Steamboat Willie Mickey on their accoutrements? We shall see. We'll get back to this in just a second, actually. So let's get to, right now, our apologies, errors, and omissions section. Right now, this is more shout out. I want to thank everybody who popped in the last couple days for the videos we had in our shorts feeds, both on YouTube and on TikTok. We had a lot of response to the story about the Panera Bread founder saying that people don't want to work. A lot of people jumped on that one. A lot of response to this picture we had that I got from the graphic from the article of a woman in Taiwan who had 300 stones removed from her kidneys, saying those don't look like kidney stones. That's the picture I had from the article, so it is what it was. So I have to go with that. If they had the wrong picture, that's on me for not seeing it. It was a big art thing, a bunch of stones. And of course, last night after I watched the town hall with Vivek Ramaswamy, asking the question, what the hell was I doing? Why did I waste my time? Why is this idiot on my TV? In which most Yugos called me an idiot and said that Vivek is definitely going to be the VP and he's better than everybody. We all are entitled to our opinions, and you're entitled to be wrong. Anyway, thank you for anyone who actually watched those things, added the numbers of things, and helped us spread those things. What I need you to do is basically make sure you're sharing those videos and sharing that love, or hate, if you will, because I hate likes are great as well, because we want to grow this thing for 2024. We're not going in the public domain, and we can't make money off Steamboat Willie, but we want to do that going forward. I want to say that right now in this part. So what are we actually omitting right now? We're not talking about this one story that goes along the lines of Steamboat Willie and the bootleg Mickey Mouse things that are going to come out in a few weeks. It was a very highly rated story, and it may come back to haunt us in the weekend, but here's the headline. Florida woman ordered to pay Luke Combs $250,000, 250,000, for selling $380 worth of homemade tumblers with his logo on them. The copyright was real, and so because she sold them through Amazon and it was caught, she had to settle with Luke Combs and pay him $250,000 in the lawsuit, selling 18 tumblers total at a total of $380, using his image and likeness without permission. She was doing this to basically raise money as a small business person. She can't really do much. She has a congenital heart failure, and this is her small business, doing tumblers and doing things like that. And because of copyright, which Luke Combs has a right to, it bit her back in the butt. So be careful with these things, and your Steamboat Willie may apply to this one. Let's go on to our teaser story for tomorrow, a story we can bring up for our Friday edition if you deem it worthy. And you deem it worthy by going to the feeds and telling us that it's worthy. Go to Facebook and Twitter, or X if you will, and tell us if this story is a big one, big enough to chat up. And you just literally engage in it and tell us. Now, we said we go back to talking about the West Bank and talk about Israel and flooding the tunnels. What we're seeing right now is this article coming from BBC saying that support for Hamas grows among Palestinians in the West Bank. This is an extremely complicated issue, and so we're going to say the headline, pause for effect, because I've got a little thing going up, and move on with this one. But we're not moving on until we tell you how to make this story into the feeds, how to make the story one we'll talk about in tomorrow's headlines. Go to facebook.com/this is a conversation project, or go to twitter.com th_conversation, and engage in the story. Read it, because like I said, you may not agree with it, or you may agree with it. We're talking a lot about that these days, but we want you to read this particular story to understand how they are feeding this story. Now, let me be honest, this is BBC writing a story, and so they're going to put it in the slant they want to. The facts remain, even if the slant may not be the way you want to see it. Read the story so you understand what's going on. Engage in the story further by sharing it, hitting like, doing all the things what you do with it, hitting hate, whatever you want to do with it. The higher engagement score it gets, the better chance we have of talking about the story in the next iteration. So for tomorrow, we'll have 8 stories planned for the Friday edition, and they'll come from the top 15 stories of the day, top half stories essentially of the day. If you want this one in the headlines tomorrow, a deeper dive into this, make it a top 15 story. We'll make that happen. we're going to do a jump to our sponsor and put a spotlight on the sponsor that is Resume Solution. As I said, it is 11 days till Christmas, which means it is even closer to New Year's Day and even closer to a new year. And this may be the year you make that change, or maybe the year you just want to confirm that you're doing great. And Resume Solution can help you with that. Number one, they're going to help you write a resume, which even if you're not trying to get a new job, always great to know what your actual skills are, just in case you want to ask for that promotion, because you want to know everything's all up to date. And if the time comes where you have to go find one or want to go find one, you already have that in the chamber ready to go. They're going to guarantee that you will get more actual interviews and more actual invites with your resume they're going to give you. They can't guarantee you a job. They can say that they'll have a resume that will give you better responses to what's going on instead of just kind of writing things down in the old way. There are some tricks, there's some things you can do to kind of mesmerize people to get into it. But the biggest thing they're going to do is they're going to organize in a way that makes sense, and that when people read it, they will understand you are serious about this job. You have the skills to make this happen, and you may be their next big candidate. Go to thisistheconversationproject.com/resume solution. This is theconversationproject.com/resume solution. This is theconversationproject.com/resume solution, and see if your path to a new career starts today. This is an affiliate link, so if you choose to use their service, we get a bit of a commission back from that one. But if you don't, check them out. They have some free stuff available to get you on. Let's see the free resume review right there to get you started, just in case you don't sign up for anything. And we want you to do better anytime you can, specifically in 2014, because we want to do better. So we want you doing better with us. Conversation Project lives online at thisistheconversationproject.com. Stop by our website for all the details, all the things you need to do to learn and do and grow about us. We offer up a newsletter version of this where you just get the links. It's going to go live, as I'm saying this, live at 9:20 or 6:09. Words don't work at 6:09 in the morning. It goes live about 6:20 every single morning with the links to there. You can get that, or you can get the replay links at the website as well. You can also listen to the video. Listen to the video. Listen to the audio version via a podcasting link, or watch the video and just don't watch the video. Just listen to the video there. I do that a lot. YouTube stuff, just let it play on the side. It gets all replayed all over the place. We have, as I said earlier, we talked about the drops we did for YouTube Shorts and for TikTok. A lot of them lately, and a lot of them getting some attention. We thank you so much for that. You can also hang out with us. Go to the partnerships page and see if there's a way you want to partner up with us. You can always email us at theconversationinbox@gmail.com. Most important thing you can do is go to the feeds and vote up the stories, so we know what stories you're talking about in the next iteration. One for the daily thing, that's things you might have heard, and for the weekly wrap up and the story of the week. We can't get those stories unless you tell us which stories are the most engaging, because it's based off of not so much what I like, but what you like from what I like, and then what I like from you like. That makes more sense if you think about it. You go to the feeds, follow a couple times, you'll see how it works out. It's all great and grand for all of us. Let's go to the fun stuff for today. Fun stuff every single weekday when we do this, and we always begin fun stuff with birthdays, because birthdays are the funnest of stuff. December 14th birthday wishes going out to Vanessa Hudgens, 35 years old. She started off as a cute little thing from High School Musical, and it's hard to believe how long it's been from that thing. Of course, all those guys were like 40 when it started, so it's one of those things. But Vanessa Hudgens started off as the cute teenager, the Juliet, more or less, in the Romeo and Juliet story, where the jock and the smart kid were getting together, and everybody was conspiring against them, until they all conspired to do it together, because we're all in this together, as the song goes. Vanessa Hudgens turning 35 years old today, doing great things on TV and movie and in Broadway. She's a great actress, a great performer, and so get out and see her do something sometime. On this day in 2020, yes, 2020, the U.S. Electoral College voted 306 to 232 to officially affirm Joe Biden's presidential election victory. We are now 11 months and a few weeks away from actual voting on the next election, and we have a whole lot of things where it looks like it's going to be another chance to vote in Joe Biden or Donald Trump, unless Joe Biden finds a way to quit because he's really old, or Donald Trump gets arrested, because that's the only thing stopping him from going forward. Literally no one wants this matchup, but it's the only matchup that's going to play out because of the way things work out. Literally no one wants this matchup, but it's the only matchup that's going to play out because it's the only one that can play out. I'm not sure how we got this, but we're here. And today we're celebrating Biscuits and Gravy Day. And I'm pretty sure we actually celebrated this back in September. But it's been a long week. It's been a long month. Hell, it's been a long 2023. And so the source we have mixes up days sometimes. Sometimes it's a national and an international, whatever. You know what? We're going to have biscuits and gravy today because they're just tasty. We're going to celebrate it. We're going to have them. Screw September, although that's my birthday month. Biscuits and Gravy Day is a great day to celebrate every single freaking day. We're going to do it today on the 14th of December, whether it's today or not. What is today is December 14th, 2023. I want to remind you one more time, as we are 11 days till Christmas, the holiday season may not be so joyous for everyone. So if you or you know someone who is not doing so well, you should call or you should direct them to the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. Now, you not only can call, but you can text 988 to the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. They will chat with you anytime, 24/7. In English and Spanish to help you work your way through whatever it is that's happening at the moment. Because it is the moment. It's not forever. It's just a moment. If you can work through the moment, we can work through the next steps, next steps, next steps. You can also visit 988lifeline.org online for resources as well. With that done, we're done. At least for Thursday. Another edition happening of things you might have heard for tomorrow, Friday, and the weekend shows to happen on the weekend. Thank you so much for being a part of the family, being part of the show, doing what you can to help us out. Email us at theconversationinbox@gmail.com. And, of course, visit the partnership page to see if there's ways you want to join up with us. Stay limber, stay hydrated, stay on task for all the grand things you're here to do. Clearing the throat. And official thank you for the day. Love you. Mean it. Let's do this again come Friday.